Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter, you lucky people, at Movies TV Mad. Instagram and TikTok at Movies TV Mad 555. So if you're watching my live stream this morning, the Movies TV Mad Daily Live, I finished off by reading an article from the Illuminati, who are very good. They got their ear on the ground about auditions and casting. And they were discussing a potential actor to be cast as Sinestro. Now, I don't want to necessarily talk about the actor, although they did make some good kind of identifications about this actor, that he can play both good and bad and kind of play a dual role. Now, this is interesting because the Green Lantern Corps will be set between 1940s, 1980s, if I remember rightly, and the present day. So I have a little theory about Sinestro's role on the series. What if Sinestro somehow can travel through time? What if he can mess things up? So, because this is kind of interesting, because there's no point in focusing on 3 different decades unless there's someone playing around with time. Now, I don't know how Sinestro could possibly travel through time. Now, he starts off as a Green Lantern, then he gets expelled from the Green Lantern Corps, and he becomes the Guardian's mortal enemy and the Lantern's mortal enemy. So he's a very fascinating and interesting character. I mean, you read some of the stuff from the comics, from the Green Lantern graphic novels. He's interesting. For me, he's a bit like Anakin Skywalker, and I do compare the Green Lantern universe as DC Star Wars. I really do think that, done properly, this could be fucking sensational. It really could, and very interesting, and actually more intriguing and spanning, more time, and everything that your imagination can think about. So this is why I've always said, get Green Lantern right in live action. You've got a whole universe there that people are going to love. Get the series right. People are going to be itching for that series to be spun off into movies, which they're, of course, planning to do. So this is very interesting. So I've been excited about this project for a very long time. I'm so happy they're doing this on HBO Max. It gives them a lot of freedom. So we know that is it Guy Gardner and Alan Scott? I think it's Alan Scott are also going to have live action versions in this series. Again, spanning from the 40s, 80s and present day. Three decades, 3 generations. As I say, how is all this going to connect? As I say, I believe that we are going to see Sinestro, and I think the synopsis for the show has said this as well. We are going to see the synopsis as an early Lantern, where he's more of a pure character, but something happens. And I think maybe something happens that makes him travel through time to mess things up for the Green Lanterns and for the Guardians. So I think that's where they're going to head with this. I think that Sinestro, looking at the actor they're looking at casting, I think this is a character who will play a dual role. We'll see him in the 40s or, on the planet OR at first. And then ultimately, and again, he may not have to travel through time. It may just be a situation where this guy doesn't age as fast as others, seeing he's actually an alien, right? But somehow, he's going to mess around with things. And we will see him in these different kind of eras and decades. So it's really exciting that they're using Sinestro, because they're not using Hal Jordan and they're not using Jon Stewart. So I'm kind of surprised they're using Sinestro, but that's good news for the show, because I believe that Sinestro will be involved in this series on HBO Max and in the movies. They won't recast unless they cast a multiverse version and another Earth, an Elseworld version of Sinestro. But I think this guy is our Sinestro. Not just the Sinestro of the Green Lantern Corps show on HBO Max, but the Sinestro of the DCEU. He can come up against our other heroes as well. As I keep on saying, this multiverse strategy has so much potential, and it's not just going to lock people up in their own universes. I would love to know what you think about this. I just thought I'd make a short video. I just really got excited reading that article this morning, and I think there are big plans for Sinestro in Green Lantern Corps and beyond in the outliers of the DCEU. So comment down below, like, share and subscribe, and I'll be back tonight 6:30 p.m. UK time. Check your local times for Movies TV Mad Live. Until then, See ya. It's been fun.